What is up, everybody? This is episode 42 of the fAnaticZ podcast. What it do? I'm Damien.
Frankie.
And it's Dylan. And if you hear the little da-da-da in the back, it's raining really bad over here. So,
It's almost
It's
as
raining, it's
and
pouring,
hailing
the
too.
old
So,
man is snoring.
it's almost as drowning as the D-backs.
I
You know what
know.
else is raining? It's raining trades and um, frustration in Arizona. How you guys feeling, man? How you guys feeling post Geno Suarez trade, post Josh Naylor trade, post Merrill Kelly trade?
Yeah, that's breaking within the last 25 minutes.
I just find it all crazy how 2 years ago we were in the World Series, and literally a lot of our core that brought us to the World Series was just gone. But what stayed is Zach Gallen.
And to think about it, yeah, he's had a down year. Nobody wanted him, but that's good news for us because at the end of the year, the team's going to give him a qualifier no matter what, and we can bring him back on a prove-it contract. And then if he can return to that ace mentality, I honestly think, especially with the moves we've made with pitching and some of the guys that we still have left, we're not going to be as down in the dumps next year as people think we are. But at least rotation wise, we definitely set ourselves up nicely for the future.
Yeah, I just wonder if any of these pitchers are gonna make debuts anytime soon. You
Well,
know, they're young
they are
prospects.
prospects, but I don't know. Then we're for sure going to see him a lot in spring training next year for sure. So we're going to see a good sample of these guys that we traded for in
You
the
know,
spring.
I'm way more receptive to the young people in the Phoenix Suns than I am for the Diamondbacks. But out of all these guys, one of these prospects got to turn to be a good pitcher. So
Well,
at least one or two. So
I
I'm
tell you
pretty
what,
happy.
one of the guys that we have coming back from Merrill Kelly, Cole Drake. He's the number 5 pitcher and number 5 ranked prospect in the Rangers organization. He's got a chance to jump up and be a starter right away within the next couple of years. So I mean, just to get 3 guys that are top 15 guys and a guy that could be starting for us within the next year and a half for Merrill Kelly, who arguably has been our best pitcher for the last 4 or 5 years.
I can accept Merrill Kelly being traded. I've mentioned it a few times throughout the months on our podcast that he's getting quite up there in age. He's what, 36? So he's getting pretty old. So I can see him finishing out his career in Texas. It's close to Arizona, anyways. And they do got a squad out there, and they're trying to win one right now. Better position than we are, obviously. So, I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm more surprised than that Zach Allen kind of not moving. I mean, I kind of expected both. I mean, Gambo was saying last night like Gowan's going to go too, but I feel like our asking price was kind of too high. I feel like that's why he didn't go. That and how bad he's been, the up and down games that he's been having too. So
I was gonna say everybody that was in for his market based it on what we were gonna potentially get wasn't worth what we had to give up. And like you said, Gallon the entire year has just been honestly part of the reason why we've failed to get out of the basement, because absolutely insane stat here. Just between Zach Gallen and the bullpen alone, there's 30 of our 58 losses right there.
Jesus Christ,
That's absurd.
that isn't good. Yeah.
So I mean, if you just get a sliver of the old Zach Gallen back, he can finish the year out strong, and then we extend a decent qualifying offer. I feel like Zach Gallen's going to be a Diamondback again next year, and I mean, kind of unfortunately, his performance kind of forced that hand a little bit, but it is good for us because we'll get an ace class pitcher, hopefully, who just had one bad year on a really decent deal.
I saw on X, by all these trades with Zach Gallen included, but now he's not. We would save about $30 million on contracts that would be used for future contracts for next season. So that number is gonna be a little down the ballpark. I'd say about 25-ish million. Don't quote me on it, just a guess. But like, I don't know. What do you guys think that money could be used for the next season?
I feel like we shouldn't, like, especially if we look at another high end starter, we need to at least look at somebody that's not south of 30.
Yeah, I want a young, proven player, whether it be someone to come in and rake or whether it be another pitcher, someone that can play next year or like right away. You know, like
Right.
I'm cool with all the prospects. Yes, make the future great, but hey, we still have Corbin Carroll, Marte. We
Yeah,
still got Perdomo. We still got some guys that are experienced and can still win. So
100%. We just got to
I
get
don't
our
think
pitching.
that this is what makes Arizona's market um, hold it back. You know, we're not LA, we're not Texas. We can't just throw $1 million at everything. And
What?
we never try to keep our big squads together and just keep stacking on top of stacking. Like when the Dodgers sucked, they sucked with an all-star team. You know, you
Right.
know they figured it out and they're like, okay, we need to get Shohei from the Angels. Okay, that's good. You know, and then we need to get this guy from. We just don't have enough time and money. I feel like to ever really. We have to microwave our championships or win by accident. You know, like I don't know if we have the baseball's about spending money, man, and the owners know that. So it's kind of like
Those three guys, those three guys you just named, were recently just extended on long-term contracts. Everybody that we just got rid of were on expiring contracts.
that's the biggest difference.
So
That's what I was
yeah,
about to say. That's the only thing that really kind of made the deals less valuable because had we had Gino for like a year or two more locked up, his value would be way higher
Oh, yeah.
because he couldn't just walk at the end of the season for nothing, just like anybody on an expiring contract. So that
they
being considered, that's the only reason why I'm not like the Diamondbacks totally screwed up because if they didn't do this and the players didn't sign with us, we'd be looking really bad.
Well, not only that, but it's just like for as much as, people are still heard about the Suarez deal, and, rightfully so, Suarez was one of those guys that became one of the beloved, franchise faces. But just to get two pitching prospects and then a guy with the potential to be our next everyday first baseman in Tyler Locklear, who was a AAA All-Star this year, mind you, I think that's at least a good start. And, like you mentioned, you can't lose out on an expiring contract because, I mean, there's a good chance that Suarez wouldn't re-sign with us anyway.
Well, Lord knows the Yankees and Dodgers would offer him a bunch more money than we ever could think of. So I think they know, hey, there's no way in hell we're going to be able to bargain with these other teams. They have more money than us, so we just have to get what we can. And I think the rentals that we made, at the very least, we got to taste the World Series, and then after that, we went for it again, and we didn't totally strike out to the point where like the Phoenix Suns did, where now it didn't work. We got swept, and now we don't have a future. You know, at least we have
Right.
some sort of future, and a lot of it, they're getting a lot of stuff for these players. So it's like you can't hate it too much, but it's just sad as a fan that wants to compete right now to watch the beautiful team we have, our offense, that number one offense in the league, just get sent away. Now it's Seattle. They got like, uh, man, Naylor, Gino, the big dumper.
Well, and
They're
just
they're
yeah,
that's
loaded.
a good that's a good big three right there.
we
Yeah, dude,
started
and they
the
got more guys. That's not only it.
they, I think the biggest thing and what is most disappointing is for once we actually started the season with top 10 hype, and then everything just absolutely blew up.
That's a story that we've heard all too many times in the desert, sir.
The life of an Arizona sports fan entirely.
Sadly.
Here's another thing: since we brought in 7 pitchers during these trades, I thought about this too. They got, all the pitchers that were brought in through the draft too. Like Mike Hazen's trying to bring like a factory of pitchers in. You feel me? But it's
Good,
like
because
we never brought in pitchers to help us now, which is
right.
crazy if you think about
Not
it.
one. Not just one. I just want one person that can pitch tomorrow.
I know, which is nobody. We brought in nobody.
Nobody,
Instead, we
dog.
brought in a first baseman which is a big question mark. That's just a great statistical sheet that you saw in AAA before he got traded here, but we don't really know what he can do in the major leagues yet. You feel me?
That's how I feel, bro. I'm on board with you on that. It's like, man, it sounds good, but like if he gets into the majors and sucks, we just lost out. We
Right.
lost, you know.
But another, I don't know if you guys heard, but especially now that Merrill Kelly is out, Anthony Desclafani is going to be that man that slides into the rotation for the rest of the year.
Woo!
So that'll be interesting because they reported that that would happen regardless of it, whether it was Gallen or Kelly going to be moved. So talk about rolling the dice to end the year because I mean, like you guys mentioned, yeah, we're getting some decent prospects back, but I mean, unless you just want to throw them to the fire, really, there's not a starter that I believe that's major league ready yet.
Who else is gonna start? Didn't we get Anthony Desclafani off the scrap heap?
Yeah, he signed with us after opting out from the Yankees at the start of the year.
Okay, is he a starting pitcher? Like,
Well, he started out in the bullpen, but yeah, he used to be a starting pitcher.
we're not trying to win, bro. We're trying to get a high draft pick.
I mean, hey, we got to. What we're doing is basically we're gonna ride out the rest of the year, retool, and then maybe we'll make some splashes again in the winter meetings because at least Montgomery is gonna be off the books, and then who knows what we'll end up doing with Rodriguez's contract. But
We're just replacing Montgomery with Corbin Burns.
those two just absolutely need to be washed.
What's going on with Corbin Burns? He's still got to take a whole another season to recover, right?
I was gonna say he in his one of his last interviews he stated that he wants to be back by mid-season, but I mean, especially with the surgery and the questions about coming back from that kind of surgery anyway, he's probably going to be closer towards the end of the year, if not being out for a whole nother year. Honestly,
Wow, man. Wow.
and it's just like normal. The Diamondbacks show that hey, we are going to spend money like everybody else, and then like time and time again, Bumgarner blown up in the face, Erod blown up in the face, Corbin Burns started out slow, picked it up, and then boom, arm got destroyed.
Well, Erod still has some time to redeem himself, right? He's still going to be on the team next year.
Oh, well, just like Gallen, he's got to get that ERA under 5.
Yeah, maybe him and Gallen can go on Aaron Rodgers style with silent retreat and come back and play their best baseball. I believe in Zach Gallen, so I don't mind keeping Zach Gallen around. I believe in him.
Do you guys think we need a new pitching coach?
No. At this point, even if they're not good, they need to learn.
Yo, guys.
Man, but yeah, no, I'm definitely, honestly, out of the two that we were thinking, I really thought Gallen was going to be, especially in terms of return, I thought Gallen was going to be honestly more valuable just because teams looked at the fact of what he can do as opposed to what he did this year. But as you saw, you saw the Rangers bank on consistency over potential.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Zach Gallen looks pretty bad now, man. He's giving up like 4 or 5 runs a game. How could you want that right now,
Right. It's just
he looks like shell shocked a little bit now.
Right. He's never even. I think the lowest his ERA was before this year. He had a year where it was like 3.4, but this year it's just like a hot air balloon.
I hope he's not injured or something. Maybe he's injured.
I mean, given our luck this year, that's very possible. But I just hope if there is an underlying issue, he's not making it worse by continuing to pitch the rest of the year.
Right. Well, hopefully, he something happens to where he becomes normal Zach Gallen once again, and we don't have to worry about it. And then we'd be like, hey, maybe it was a happy coincidence that you didn't get traded.
Right. Because I mean, I feel like Mike Hazen kept the price high on Gallen because he knew that in the right situation, and if he was around the right right group, he would jump right back into that Zach Gallen of old. But it's just he's just got to get that confidence back, and it looks like we're at least gonna have him another year unless somebody wants to take a considerable risk on giving him more than we would. But just the
Well,
fact
yeah, I
that
hope that we do bring him back regardless now that we couldn't trade him.
oh, I do. I want him back 100%, and I mean it's very doable because a lot of teams aren't gonna really want to dole out money with that 5.4 ERA.
Yeah, but he still Zach Gallen, like you were saying, so maybe somebody will take a chance.
I tell you what, though, I mean, just the fact that we were able to get 3 viable future starters if everything pans out, and 2 of them being top 10 in the Rangers organization, like I'll take that all day. And then you keep Zach Gallen. I mean, that's a win for the Diamondbacks. I mean, it sucks to lose another, franchise.
Well, it's not
like,
guaranteed that we're keeping Zach Gallen, right?
oh no, because I mean, he could very well walk at the end of the year somewhere else.
That would suck.
But I
Sorry
mean,
about that, y'all.
good
It's all
shot
good.
because we would offer him more than most on potential base.
I don't know, man. What's it called? I was listening to, I think it was Gambo, and whoever Gambo's with. um, and they were talking to the president of baseball or whatever, him like Brandon or something. I don't know the dude's name. This is shitty journalism right here, but um, he was basically saying that when they told the players that they were going to be sellers, they felt a shockwave of like despair hit the clubhouse, and he said that like he felt like they might have told him too early.
No
And
kidding.
things
Kind of killed the vibe. It sounds like.
yeah, that's exactly what he said. Like he said, he destroyed the vibe. They regret saying it so early, but he said at the end of the day, this is what we were going to do. So might as well get over with.
Boy, I mean, the last inch of hope we had was when we broke out of the All-Star break by sweeping the Cardinals, but then, as we saw, it just went downhill from there. Lovolo's going to be back if he's going to be reevaluated, or if we might be going in a different direction.
I'd be surprised if they fire him. I know everybody's saying that he's on the hot seat and stuff, but you get to a World Series in that short a span of time, you got a little leeway. We don't want to spend money, bro. And I think the GM and the manager have a good relationship, so I don't see it happening. I think it should happen, no doubt, but I think they needed something fresh and new. But because the vibes we've been having, if we're gonna tear down all the good players and get rid of them too, get a new manager, someone that can bring a new breath of fresh air into this place, make it a different thing.
Well, it's some of the just watching some of the decisions in games. It's just like some guys won't have much of a leash at all, and then other guys will have way too long of a leash, and then he keeps them in too long, and then that's when everything gets out of hand.
Yeah. Some of the decision making is wonky. And it's professional sports, man. If you're not making the playoffs, you're not making the playoffs. Something's got to give.
Oh yeah, and then I mean in today's game and today's day and age, it doesn't matter what the sport. It's just like there's always constant heat on making the playoffs. But if you can't do that within the first couple of years, freaking, you're gonna be in and out real quick because it's really about what you've done for me lately than it used to be.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. I know the fans want Torrey to go. from what I see in the group, at least. I'm not sure about the front office, though. I think they love him.
Right. But I mean, I think we still have a lot of very, good talent and good opportunities with this roster. We just have to see what happens, how the year ends, and based on that, what they do at the winter meeting. Because,
Yeah, for sure.
regardless of what everybody, sees in the year, like, we're seeing as 30 of our 58 losses are just between the bullpen and one guy. I feel like we're a lot closer to being competitive again than not, if that makes sense.
I agree with that. I just well, I kind of agree with that because I don't know when any of these prospects are going to be in the MLB. You know, that's the thing that's the thing that makes me not love prospects. You know,
Right.
like you could be a prospect for 3 years, dude.
As I say, most of the projections I looked at said at least the main guys that we brought in are going to be projected to be ready about 26, 27. But yeah, especially when you're trying to, wage an overhaul and you're just, banking on somebody to show up in 2026, 2027. It's just like,
For me, it's just like
that's too long.
the next couple of the years are going to be those $5 seats at Chase Field.
Mm.
It's going to be, man. And I'm resigning myself to sucking for the next couple of years, like real bad. With Corbin is going to be like, get me out of here.
I hope not. I mean, I feel like we'll be a little more competitive than that, but I mean, we're no strangers.
How will we be more competitive than that, Frankie? Who do we have? We're going to be one of those teams that can hit you up one night because of our couple of superstars, but we can never give keep people from scoring because we don't have any good pitchers. We just
Right.
don't have anybody good. We got a whole bunch of average dudes now. Zach Gallen's good, but we might not even have him. He might go back to Miami.
You think so?
No, I just randomly said that. But I think he could go anywhere, you know? He could go anywhere. So it's like, why bank on him still being back when they try to trade him? You know, when you're a professional athlete, you're not just some robot. You're a human too. You
Right.
know, you're like, you don't know how he felt, you know, hearing his name number one on trade things, you know, like, so who knows?
I
Who
was gonna
knows?
say because I mean, you never know how just hearing your name and just the talks alone can affect a guy's mental state or just their game in general.
Yeah, or even make you start thinking, hmm, you know, my grandma lives in Florida and is closer to this or that. Maybe just a Florida team that, you know what I mean? Like your mind, it gives your mind permission to start making those, you know, wandering thoughts. And you know, if a team offers him a bigger bag, even slightly, maybe it's in a place he wants to go, or a place he has family, or his girlfriend, or whatever, you know. But you wanna make your guys feel wanted if you want them, and who knows if the Diamondbacks even ask him to come back, you know?
Well, I mean,
Maybe we're
it's a weird time because not even just 2 years ago we were making the run of our lifetime again. Flashing back to 2001, and then now we're right back to same old D-backs again.
Yep. And then that's sad to see, but hey, at least we went to the World Series and we swept the Dodgers. I guess we have to keep, you know, celebrating that while they celebrate a real championship.
Right. But I mean, the future is bright. But as you said it yourself. You just prospects are prospects. There's never a guarantee that any of them are ever going to pan out. It's just the
And even
scout
if they
says
do,
this.
Frankie, even if
What?
they do, I'll be an old man when they do. I'll be 35, 36,
You'll be what?
36 years old.
Bro, I'll be 36 at the end of the year.
Listen, Frankie, I don't want to be 36 when when the Diamondbacks are good again. I want them to be good again next year.
Hey, they'll be good when I'm 36, which will
There
be
you
next.
go. I like that. That's better for me. It's not about being 36. Not even that old. It's just about waiting years for the Diamondbacks to be good again.
Well, and it sucks as a sports fan because I mean it seems like we go through the same cycle with the Diamondbacks, the Suns, the Cardinals.
Yep. Sucks as an Arizona sports fanatic.
wildly enough, right now. And it was weird because not even last season we said it's weird to have the Diamondbacks as the epitome of consistency and direction. But honestly, right now the Cardinals are the best fit
Right.
spot in
Facts.
Arizona sports right now, and then right behind them, you maybe have the Diamondbacks in the middle. But honestly, I think even the Suns could have a quicker turnaround than the Diamondbacks.
For sure. 100%. The Suns, they got a lot of good pieces, and if we can get Jonathan Kuminga, which
Yeah, I was gonna say they're still not done yet either.
maybe we can get him at the trade deadline. I don't know.
Well, it's gonna be interesting because I mean, they're gonna. Who knows if Kuminga forces their hand because it's like, he wants a bigger role. He wants more money than they're obviously willing to give him. But if he could not show up.
I think at this point, um, that he's just going. It's just about where he's going. There's a 0% chance he'll ever play for the Warriors ever again.
And it's like we got both the Suns and the Kings essentially competing for his role. And then of course you got the Suns who, on top of throwing Richards and Royce O'Neal, they're offering four second-round picks, and then the guarantee that he would have a major role in a starting spot automatically, besides the $90 million.
Yep, I know. I read that. I also read that today that the Warriors have officially shut down the talks between the Suns and Kings.
Dang.
But that's probably because something's been reached.
Yeah, either that. I was gonna say it's either we're about to see a big move within the next couple of days, or it's like one of those like, well, he kind of like gave in, and then he's gonna take like maybe a 4 or 5 year $75 million contract to stay with a bigger role.
Exactly. I'm looking at it right now. He wants to go play. He wants to be like the guy, so he probably wants to go to the Kings. That makes sense.
Well, I was gonna
You know?
say, if he wants to be the face, I mean, it definitely won't be here then.
Yeah, I mean,
We can
I'm sure
just
that if the Kings don't give him $90 million,
right. But it's just like I don't even think we've seen his full potential because there's been Golden State's played him and then he sat. He hasn't really had a consistent role.
No, and Kerr hates him, dude. Honestly.
Like
Yeah.
I love Steve Kerr, but he makes some very questionable decisions when it comes to personnel. Just like,
Okay. The Golden State Warriors are reportedly shutting down sign and trade talks for Jonathan Kuminga, according to multiple reports. This means the Warriors are no longer actively pursuing trade options for Kuminga and are prepared to retain him on the roster. They are willing to let him choose between a 2-year offer or a 1-year qualifying offer.
yeah.
The Warriors have shunned all sign and trade offers for Kuminga. They are standing firm on their current position, which is to keep him on the roster. Kuminga prefers a long-term deal or a shorter deal with more guaranteed money and a clearer path to a larger role, potentially with teams like the Kings or Suns. He declined the offer. Kuminga can accept the Warriors' 2-year or take the $7.91 million qualifying. And he Instagram storied, "I'll bet on myself." So he's probably going to take that 1-year deal, play with the
Yeah.
Warriors next year, and yeah.
That's it. Oh my god. Just the way that you see some guys used, or like I should say unused in some teams' plans, it's just like you have a guy that if you gave him a huge, role expansion, I think he could be, a 20-8 guy.
And there's no doubt that he could be a 28 guy. He's playing 24 minutes and he's a 15-4 guy.
Yeah.
15 points and 4.6 rebounds, 2 assists, and almost a block in 24 minutes a game. Come on, man.
I mean, that's like us talking about the Mark Williams potential and him averaging a double-double in 25. He just has to stay healthy.
Yeah, and Kuminga just has to play in the game instead of sitting on the bench. Kuminga's not injury prone. Steve Kerr just hates him, and he doesn't fit the Warriors' offense. So Steve Kerr doesn't want to play him. So that's the only thing that's JK. The reports are that he doesn't want to be there, and they don't want him. So why are they doing this? That's what I hate about the NBA business, man. A player can, move teams, and then everybody will like shit on him like LeBron or something, and then a team could hold a player for ransom and not let him, go explore his options or even play it to his full capability to maximize his value, and nobody even talks about it. They just don't bat an eye. It's like, okay, that's fine. It's just business. When it's just business both ways around.
Right, and what's really interesting is just like this is coming from the Golden State Warriors, who just plucked Jimmy Butler this last year out of the same freaking scenario.
Exactly. But the thing about it is that, like, they don't even need Kuminga. They really don't.
He's just an extra body.
Yeah, they just don't want to let him go to the Suns for that price. What are they trying to compete with us for? We're not even good right now. Let us stack up. Let us get better.
They don't want to give him up and then watch him, ascend and then come back.
They want Dunn or Oso is probably what they want, and they want to wait till the trade deadline to try to get one of them. They're not happy with what we're offering them. That's what it is.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I did read an article just a bit ago that mentioned the fact that talks have stalled because the Warriors wanted Dunn, and two guys that the Suns are absolutely not including in any trade talks right now are Ryan Dunn and Dylan Brooks.
Right.
So I think honestly, this whole holdup could have been the Suns not wanting to give up on Ryan Dunn, and that's why we don't have a Kuminga deal. But I mean, good for the Suns because I don't want them to get rid of Ryan Dunn just off the base of, Kuminga potentially fitting in with the group here.
Nah, Ryan Dunn is a part of the plan long term.
The dungeon.
We don't need to.
Term.
We can just wait. We can just wait that 1 year. Kuminga knows what's up. The Suns probably said, "Hey, take the 1 year deal, play that 1 year out, and if you do well, you have $90 million waiting for you in Phoenix."
Honestly, that's not a bad play.
That's probably what happened. Or maybe the Warriors realize they're going to get nothing for him at the end of the year and say, "Hey, do you still want to do the Royce O'Neal thing?"
Right.
I think this is negotiation tactics by the Warriors. And good for them. And good for the Suns for not being stupid.
No kidding, because I mean, the minute Ishba's tenure started, that's the only thing that we were thinking about is impulse. But now we actually have a plan. We've done good work this offseason. We've brought back a really good group of young guys. So let's stay that course, not give anything up. And then, like you mentioned, rightfully so for not including Dunn in any of those talks or Oso, because those guys are going to be key components this next year, especially.
Well, I mean, the Warriors ought to be ashamed of themselves for even asking for Dunn because Dunn had such a good summer league and such a good year last year that it would make no sense for any human with a brain to be like, "Yeah, we'll include Dunn." He's not like one of those fringe people who was really he exceeded expectations in a lot of ways and did so again in the summer league this year. So yeah, it just doesn't make sense for them to think that was even a thing. So.
Well, right, and then last year when he was being scouted, his defensive prowess was highlighted. Everybody knew he was going to be a great defensive player. The thing that he needed to elevate was his shot and his scoring, and he, just in the last year, he has done that night and day from what he did when he first got into the league.
For sure.
And then, of course, you bring in guys like Dylan Brooks to help tutelage him and really show him the ropes. That's going to be, he's going to be even that much better. And then you got guys like Kobe Bray, Fleming. They're going to pick up from this, gritty style that Brooks plays. And we're going to have an entire roster for guys that are locked.
Yeah, and when the Suns were a finals team and the defense was good, Booker's defensive rating was up too. So Book is really one of those players that um, really exemplifies whatever the culture is at the time. He's gonna play like that, you know. So he's gonna snap into a better defensive mode too, and the whole team will be on point. I can't wait to see how scrappy this team is and how good of a defensive team this is. I want to see how Jordan coaches.
I'm just excited to see the fresh energy because, I mean, you already have guys like Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks that are already, wanting to rewrite the culture. And, everything is back to business, no bullshit, relax. Everybody is, in the gym kicking butt. And it's going to be, it's exciting to look forward to watching, gritty style again.
Yeah, and I'm sure Booker has a lot that he wants to prove now that he's got all that money. He's the highest paid player right now currently, so and people are talking about how he doesn't deserve it and this or that. So, you're gonna give that much money to a player that really can't take you to a championship and da 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 da. So, I'm excited to see him with a chip on his shoulder again, and
100%.
see how that works out for us.
Watch him and Green feed off one another. 'Cause, I mean, I'll definitely see both of them, you know, drawing a guy in and then kicking it out, other guy in the corner, three ball all day.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I can't wait to see them dropping the combined 60, 70 points in certain games. It'll be fun to watch.
But hey, you know who starts before the Suns do? Preseason football starts tonight.
That's right. Damn right.
We're almost there. We're almost back.
Yep. The Cardinals don't start till August 9th, but they're in camp. They're having a fun time. I'm hearing that Will Johnson is shutting camp down. He's really doing a lot of first team reps, telling everybody that he wants to be the starter and proving it out there. So super excited to hear that he's panning out the way people thought he would. So
Right, and then it's good to like him and Marv going at it at practice. You know, it's only going to make each other that much better.
yeah, man, he's got his hands full with Marv, Trey McBride, and whoever else will get sent his way out there. So all those guys, man, all those
Well,
guys.
you got Max Melton showing out too. Our secondary, even with the loss of Starling Thomas, like, and it is a huge loss. Don't let me minimize that, but just the fact that we're deep and we can cover some of these injuries now that we couldn't have afforded, a year or two ago.
For sure.
It's good. It's wild, but now the Cardinals are that team that have the most optimistic, you
Well,
know.
our secondary's been sneakily getting better and better each year. I mean, with guys like Jalen Thompson starting to really learn his role and his place on the team. Garrett Williams, another year in the system. He was the number one zone defender at cornerback last year in the whole league. Um, yeah, we Sean Murphy Bunting, he got injured too, but he was decent. He was starting to meld and gel. I'm excited to see what they do this year.
100%. And I mean, I feel like the bar is at least 10-7.
At least.
Because I mean, there's no way with an easier schedule and a much better roster and more experience, we are not good. Especially the fact that we filled our biggest weakness from last year and made it into one of our biggest strengths. I think we're gonna surprise people and go well above what people think. I mean, Dylan's not here, unfortunately, but me and and if he was here, he would argue against us. But this is the year Kyler Murray ball. He's gonna fit. He's gonna hit that 4K and run for.
Yeah. I think Kyler has a big year. I think Trey McBride has another huge year. And Marvin Harrison, he's going to want it. He's been talking about how he sees the other guys in his class and he wants to outdo them. So I love that.
Yeah, I love that mentality. And I mean, you're only going to see the guys around him feed off of that better. The real thing is or what I'm looking forward to is seeing the combo of Connor and Benson.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how Trey Benson is in his second year. We already know what James Conner's going to do. No surprise there. He's going to push it to the limit and run dudes over. I want to see if Trey Benson is ready to be like 1B now instead of being the second guy. Maybe he can have some first guy juice this year and show us why we drafted him so high.
Or shoot, I mean, you could even see sets where they run, Connor up front as the fullback and then try to run Benson around.
Yeah, they can put them both in the game at the same time. Do whatever with them. But we just got to see Trey Benson make a bigger impact on the team is what I'm saying. Like, we need to see him score touchdowns and break runs and, like, be a consistent threat each game. You know what I mean? Like, have, 30, 40 yards a game. Like, spell James Conner and still keep that same type of production on the field. I want to see him really, become a go-to guy and someone that every Cardinals fan knows instead of just being the backup running back on the team.
And I mean, I feel like with the depth of our offensive line, he's definitely going to have more opportunity to run the tackles this year.
Well, yeah, and James Conner's getting old, man. He's got to be the next guy up after James Conner retires and stuff.
Not only did the man, he's taken a bunch of beatings as an NFL veteran. The dude has beaten cancer, and he's still running people over today.
Yeah, dude, and he had to play in Pittsburgh, dude. So all they did was run the ball, in the cold. But yeah,
I'm just looking forward to football being back.
Me too. I'm gonna watch that shit. That's why I'm like, what time is it on?
Yeah, we got another hour, my guy.
Nice.
It just sucks that kind of Dylan wasn't able to finish with us, but
that doesn't matter. So
he was announced something though.
Oh yeah, that's true. He was supposed to announce something. Well, I guess we won't steal his thunder, and we'll just let him do it next time.
That's fair.
Yeah, we'll let him do it next time. But still, I think this year is super huge. Not only for, Kyler Murray, but I think players like Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch, Zaven Collins, guys like that. I think that this is like a really a core year for the guys who aren't really Jonathan Gannon and Monty Altonford's guys to begin with, because those dudes aren't going nowhere. They're going to be here for the next couple years, which is good for the Cardinals to have some tenured people, because Kyler Murray's already the most tenured Cardinal quarterback in history. Now he's just got to go win some stuff. If we can get deep into the playoffs, I think that this group will be one of those Buffalo Bill, Kansas City type teams in terms of continuity. Like, we'll have the same cast that, for the next 4 or 5 years. Like, if we can win and go in the playoffs this year, Kyler will be the quarterback until he's out of the league. And Trey McBride will still be here every year. James Conner's going to hold on as long as he can. And maybe we can go win.
I tell you what, I'm looking forward to that, because we haven't had the excitement that's around us right now since, honestly, the Arian era.
Yeah, I don't think the excitement's quite that high, but it's close. It's close, and that's good. It hasn't been close in a long time. I think we knew how good we were in the Arians era, and I think there's still a lot of question marks with this team. But we had the number one offense in 2015, and we lost to the Panthers in the championship because Carson Palmer had a busted thumb or something like that. But yeah, man, that team was special, and we knew, hey, these mother bleepers, if they get deep, they can take that. We haven't quite seen that with them yet. I think if Kyler would have beat the Rams in his first year, or in the playoffs, then we would have that mystique on us and that type of
See,
praise.
to be
But
fair, that Rams team did go on and win the show.
oh yeah, not only that, but 31 people on our team were in the playoffs for the first time ever in their whole lives, including the coaches. So
Oh yeah,
that was a total mismatch of like a team that was a veteran and on time, and a team that was newbies and just really hot, And yeah, we learned our lesson. I think that was probably one of the most important games for Kyler Murray, and I'm sure that he wants to get back to the playoffs and win a game. People act like these quarterbacks win playoff games all the time, but there's not many quarterbacks have more than two quarterback playoff wins in the league. Period.
oh yeah. I mean, you saw what happened to Joe Burrow. He hasn't, the Bengals haven't been back to anywhere since that Super Bowl game that.
Exactly. All his playoff wins are in that 1 year.
But I feel like this is definitely the year that we can make some noise. Kyler Murray definitely has to take that step, though. But
He has to win a playoff game. He
we
has
know.
to.
But I mean, what is really nice is he's been partially given the green flag, but also in his own mind, in his own state, he's decided that he's going to go back to being more mobile based this year, which will be a lot. It'll open up a lot of things for the offense.
Yeah, I think that he said that last year, but coming off that really bad injury, he just couldn't like get over that mental hump to just start dipping and booking every time he saw it. I think
Right.
now that he's been healthy for a year, full solid year of ball and a training camp and everything, I think he's ready to, especially after throwing those interceptions, bro. Hey, if you're in the end zone and you're covered up, brother, just run.
Right.
Just go. Nobody can catch you, bro. If you make your mind up that you're gonna get to the spot before them and you have a step on them, just put your hand in the sky. Put your hand in the sky and wave them goodbye, Kyler Murray. That's what I'm gonna have for my slogan. Put your hand in the sky and wave them goodbye, Kyler Murray.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of waving goodbye, I think this is a good time to cut it.
Yo, especially since we're down a third.
Yeah, I mean, we already did an hour. I mean, it's gonna be less than an hour, which I think does better on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna cut that whole part where he stops us and shows us the flood thing. Probably just cut that out.
Okay.
Uh, so make it a like 40-minute, 45-minute video.
I mean, we worked around some shenanigans, that's for sure.
Yeah, shit. And if you want to work around more stuff with us, there is a link to the description for all things fAnaticZ podcast, merch, everything.
We'll have our own shirt pretty soon.
Pretty darn soon, baby.
And then
Can't
also,
wait for that.
for anybody that does want to follow and does follow us, the boys are considering doing a 2-league fantasy football, but we'll have more information on that next week. So if you are interested, stay tuned. And as always, appreciate the love, the support. Push us as much as you can because we're not going away anyway. We'll see you next week.